The first time we battled as Super Crew, Jin was part of that too. Jive Turkeys was actually originally one of the crews that was down with Super Crew when we formed that crew.
Then fast forward, we get Super Crew. Now, from the outside looking in, right?
Right.
From the outside looking in, it looked like okay, so there was always crews of homies that weren't in the same original crew that would compete together, right?
Right.
From the outside looking in, it looked like Super Crew was developed just to destroy jams and win everything. Is that what it was about? Like, we're about to start getting this money, or
No,
was it? What was the connection there?
Yeah, it was before the money. It was freestyle session 5, I believe, 5 or 6. So we were like still the young guys. Like, we couldn't mess with crews like Havoc Coro and Massive Monkeys and LA Breakers, and like those were like the top notch crews to us, and we were still like we were younger, we were the underdogs. We didn't have as much experience, but we had so much energy and we just wanted to freaking blow it up. That was our whole thing. It's like, we got to hit them blow ups and just blow it up,
right?
And so we wanted to call them all out, but the only way that we could do it was like, okay, because we were cool with Battle Monkeys and Full Force and Jive Turkeys. We had like battled like Full Force and Knucklehead Zoo battled Battle Monkeys in the Cypher at B-Boy Summit like a few months prior to that freestyle session. Mm-hmm. And like after we battled each other because it was like we were kind of like similar, we just seemed like, oh shit, like these guys kind of look like us, but they weren't, so we just
right
for a minute. And after we battled, we're just like, dude, you guys are freaking dope. And then we just ended up became friends. Like, we would travel back and forth to practice with each other. And then I remember on the chat room, it was like the B-Boy World chat room, I was talking to IQ, and he was like, yo, let's call everybody out, blah, blah, blah. Let's put our forces together and just represent the younger generation and call out the older guys. So that's how Super Crew originally started. Wow.
That is dope. And then it just stuck, huh?
Yeah, it kind of just stuck. We of course, after that battle, we went and still was representing with our crews, for the most part. But then Super Crew ended up being kind of like, just like almost a party thing. We would just like Battle Monkeys would come to Vegas, and then it was all 3 crews like there, and we would just like party and you know what I mean, kick it and practice and break. It was more of a lifestyle type of thing. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man. That's real fresh. Okay, so follow me on this one. The year is 3000. And there's a time capsule, right, that one of your descendants finds. And in this time capsule, you've placed 3 battles to prove to your future generations that you was once one of the coolest cats in your culture. What would those 3 battles be?
Oh, man.
Or just not even 3. Just what are some of your more memorable battles?
Yeah. No, I can think of that. So I think for me, one of my favorites is I.B.E. 2003. I don't know if you've seen that footage, but it's like because all versus all.
Yeah.
There's just this moment where I backflipped off of rubber legs, and at that year, like I was doing it all year. I was trying to backflip off everybody, but so he was doing like a move, and it was like similar to something RJ was doing, and RJ was there, and he was just like calling him a biter, and then like I flipped off of him and landed, and like no one knew kind of like how to react, and the whole place just went nuts. The circle collapsed.
Yo, boys from Boys. Please, people, don't fuck it up. Otherwise, it's the last time that you can do this. Listen, all these people inside, yeah, they paid 30 euros, yeah, they paid 30 euros to see some b-boying, and that's some fucking fighting. Is that right?
The whole German team was like, they like immediately they just felt attacked. And they just wanted to fight me. You know what I mean, bro? It was so nuts, and like at the same time, like I was hype, you know, just so much energy, but also like seeing like these 10 German guys just like wanting to freaking bum rush me and just punch me, and then Tyrone came and like got in front of me and literally pulled me through. And then the circle just collapsed. And he pulled me through and like took me upstairs so that nothing would happen. And he was just like, "What the hell?" And I was just looking, and I was like, "Oh my god, what just happened?" Like the whole, it was just nuts. You know what I mean? And then we ended up like they got on the mic, opened the circle back up, and we came down there and just finished the battle. You know, it was like just that venue of Nighttown, it was a Nighttown in Rotterdam where I.B.E used to be. The energy was just nuts, you know, because it was just people there for the circle, and then just rows and rows and rows on top of people just looking over, watching. So the energy that went into that circle was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember those old I.B.Es, man. Those were the illest ones in my opinion too. But okay, that's one. What else? Wait, before you go, Tyrone, you said, what's his name? Tyrone?
Tyrone, yeah.
Is that the guy with the infamous "stay off the man's clothes"? Is that Tyrone?
I don't know.
When they threw the Koreans threw the hat and they had to stop the battle, and he's like, "Stay off the man's clothes." That's his hat.
That's Mario. That's Mario.
Okay.
But Tyrone's the other guy that's always on the mic too.
Okay, no doubt. Word.
Those
all right,
guys are definitely shout outs to them, man. Those are good guys. Another battle. Ooh, I think. Let's see. There's been some dope ones, but okay, here's a good one. So Mr. Freeze had an event, and it just reminded me of this too because he put up a clip. But Mr. Freeze had this event called UBC, right? And he did it in Vegas, for a while, and then he had a big one in Vegas, and then he ended up doing a small one in New York that was just like a cypher, right? And so he picked 5 b-boys, and this footage never really got around. Like, he had put little clips of like kind of documentary style, but never showed the whole battle.
We're here at LaGuardia Airport waiting for Ben from Super Crew Knuckleheads, and yeah, we've been waiting for like 2 hours. Ben, so you owe me a steak, cause I'm over here with Frankie. So when you see this video, you're gonna owe me a steak with some mashed potatoes, some nice little green peppers, and some A1 sauce, and a movie. You're gonna take me out to the movies too.
Really, you guys are starving, huh? I'm hungry too, man. I'm hungry too. You guys been here since 7? Yeah, we meet you. What's up, man? Damn, why you come so early? It says on my itinerary I get in here at 9 o'clock.
So Freeze told us 7:19.
Can't listen to Freeze though.
You're complete. Let's go.
Oh wow.
But it was a cypher, right? With me, Moy, Tata, Day Day, and Gravity, right? So it was us 5, and it was just unlimited. You know what I mean? Just go. You know, like who can control the cypher? And that battle to me was like one of the illest battles I've been in, just because of how raw it was. You know what I mean? Like it was definitely like it wasn't one of those lights, camera, action battle, but even though it was recorded and it was still like official, it had a vibe, you know. But it was right there in New York, so you had a lot of like you know, Crazy Legs was there, and like just like Martha Cooper, the original photographer from those books, like she had.
These experiences really prepared me for an adventurous life in New York City. And when I first arrived in the city in 1975, the city was really going through some hard times. It was close to bankruptcy. There were vast areas of boarded up buildings and vacant lots. And these were really dangerous places because there was a lot of drug dealing. People didn't dare to go there. But for me, these were really interesting places to photograph. So while I was working for the newspaper, looking for those weather photographs, I used to drive through these neighborhoods, and I began a project looking for kids who were doing creative things, building things, while their parents weren't watching. So one day, I met a boy whom I had photographed with his pigeon coop, and he showed me his drawings in his notebook. And he explained to me that he was practicing his name, his nickname, which was He3. He was practicing his name to paint a wall. And he asked me, why don't you take pictures of graffiti? And actually, I had never really understood that graffiti, that I had seen everywhere in New York, were actually nicknames that kids had written on the wall. And as soon as he showed me that notebook and I saw that he was basically a designer, designing a logo, I became interested, and he said, well, I can introduce you to a king of graffiti. And of course, that was something I couldn't turn down. And the king turned out to be Dondi, who in fact was a prolific train writer and widely admired for his style. So Dondi invited me to come back and spend a day with him and his friends in his room while he was designing. They all were designing their names in their notebooks. Because graffiti wasn't just a matter of writing your name, you had to write your name with style. But one of the things that impressed me about Dondi was that he always took a picture whenever he put a piece on a train. And he had a photo album, his own photo album of his own photographs. Just like the early explorers, he was documenting his own expeditions. And because I could take better pictures, I was a professional photographer, and I soon began to give them photos, I was welcomed into the world of graffiti. And pretty soon, I was so fascinated by it that I quit my full-time job at the Post, and I started going up to the Bronx, where there were these vast areas of open lots, but you could see the trains coming and going. And I spent hours and hours and hours just standing there, waiting for fresh, new graffiti pieces to come by on the train.
like a lot of photos of the battle that I ended up getting, and was like, wow, man, super dope. But it was just a vibe. Like, it was so freaking dope. The DJ played Just Begun, like the break, over and over, literally like the whole time. But it just felt so, oh man, and just like the competition level too was freaking dope. Those guys are all monsters, and we went at it, and then I ended up going into a tie break. So out of that, and Benji was the judge. So out of that Cypher, they picked me and Gravity to do a tiebreaker to win, and I ended up losing in the tiebreaker against Gravity. But I was all mad. I thought that I won, and I was like, talking crap, and it was dope, man. And like, it was epic.
No doubt, man. So then, number 3. There you go. You got a third one?
Let me think.
And it doesn't have to be with just you. It could be even with your crew.
Yeah. What's crazy when I think about like my breaking career, there's like the generation like of just like knuckleheads when we were all freaking young, like 17 years old, and then in my 20s, and then in my 30s too. It's crazy. So, but another epic one, I would say, man, to be honest, one of my favorite ones, because it was just about the generation of where we were at, and like kind of going back to all that whole transfer days, and you know what I mean, and the original Knucklehead Zoo guys, is a Knucklehead Zoo versus Sour Patch, and it was a jam that Robbie Utmost threw, and he had this exhibition battle. And yeah, it was like when, Sour Patch had like Thosh, and like, Paranoid Android was there with a bald head. They looked like vampires, and it was crazy. Like, it was really dope, because it was it just showed like just where breaking kind of was going at the time,
No doubt, man.
So we were doing like a little promotional thing in New York, and this is the first time I seen America's Best Dance Crews. I was in New York, and I was sitting down, and I turned on the TV, and I see.
For more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Let us know how we're doing in the comment section. And to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, go ahead and smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support so far. So peace until the next episode.